Good morning, everybody. Let me know if my camera is super laggy on your end, because it's super laggy on my end. And it's just the Insight timer camera, not my recording. So I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Christine says it's laggy. Chris, yeah, a bit. It's lagging. Okay, well, I've tried changing the camera setting multiple times before I hopped on because I noticed how laggy it was. I wonder if this might be an issue on Insight Timer today. Now, is it completely frozen right now? Well, let's say hello. IT update has been a bit buggy. Okay. I appreciate you guys. We're gonna go with it. I'm frozen. Let's see. At least we can hear you. That is the important part, right, Chris? Oh, switch the settings. Let's see who's here. Hi, Christine. Happy Friday. Elena, hello. Who else? Courtney, happy Venus Day. Hi, Karen. Hi, AJ. Hello, Patty and Nicole. Let's see who else. Hi, Greg. Oh, Greg. He says I look fantastic in all caps. Hello, Patty. Lucy, I made the start for once. That's so funny. I'm playing with my camera settings while we're chatting here too. Let's see. Jess, good morning. Hello, Melissa. Hello, Andrea. Chantel says hi. Good morning, Christine, and good morning, Dr. Monica. How laggy is it on your end? Because for me, I'm getting like a still every like 4 seconds. And it's extremely distracting on my end. Same. Barely moving. Okay, I wonder what the deal is. Okay, so I guess the reason I know it's not my webcam is because I also record with a different program, and that is running just fine. It's just Insight Timer. So maybe I'm gonna drop it down to a little bit lower quality, maybe, to see if that catches up. Thank you, Dr. Monica. I felt that today too, that my voice is a little bit more calm than usual. Yeah, that's so funny. I'm just not gonna look at the Insight Timer video for now. We'll figure it out when we get to the cards, but I'm gonna start talking about the astrology. And maybe for today, if you normally watch my face, maybe don't today. Because the sound is good and that's what matters. All right, let's talk about what's happening in the sky. Where did my notes go? They're right there. Okay. So guys, today we're talking about the Sun and Mars coming conjunct in Scorpio. And this is occurring at 24 degrees of Scorpio. They're already, whatever, it doesn't even matter. 24 degrees of Scorpio, Sun and Mars conjunct. This conjunction is trining Neptune and Pisces at 24 degrees, so exact. And this conjunction is also forming a quincunx to the North Node at 24 degrees of Aries. So I'll break those all down for you one by one. So first we'll talk about what the energy represents when we have the Sun conjunct Mars in Scorpio. This is energy that's been building for about the last 2 weeks. When planets are conjunct, it means that they're at the same degree. They're right on top of each other. They blend their energies. So in this instance, we have the Sun. The Sun in astrology represents our vitality. It's our life force. I call it the flavor or the blanket of like the whole picture. Does that make sense? It's kind of just like the mood of what's happening is wherever the sun is. Mars represents our passion, our drive, our ambition. Mars is what we fight for and also where our desires lie, how we act on our desires. So with the sun conjunct Mars, the sun is supercharging Mars and vice versa. So the sun is adding vitality to Mars's ambition and passion, and Mars is adding passion and desire to the general theme of Scorpio season, right? They're both in Scorpio. So I said it's been building for the last 2 weeks. Everything in astrology, everything in the whole universe has a shadow side and a more light expression. So the shadow side of this can look like heightened anger. There you go. Greg, is that why I felt so intensely agitated yesterday? You typed that as I said. Heightened anger. Aggression is a big shadow theme of this conjunction. You might notice bigger reactions, especially to secrets being exposed. This is happening in Scorpio. And the sun conjunct Mars can also feel like wounds are being penetrated, and it's more painful than normal. You might be having stronger reactions to people attacking you, right, in Scorpio season. So this creates, one, a greater potential to be attacked and to attack, and two, more damage taken from the attack. That's the shadow expression of all this. It's like pure anger, primal reaction, I guess, is how that feels. The higher expression of Mars conjunct the sun, this can be heightened passion and sustained energy, having that alertness to focus on your task, that drive, the passion, the oomph to go. This looks like physical output, being able to physically move your body more than normal, the sun conjunct Mars. And this shows me also like a go-getter attitude. How have you been just super motivated, super intrigued with what you're doing, excited to just perform and do more? There's a few comments and I'm going to read what you guys are talking about, but I want to ask you guys, how have you been noticing this energy? Have you been feeling more of the shadow side where there's just constant bickering and arguments and people are getting hurt more deeply than normal? And have you been feeling this boost of energy? Have you been feeling this constant, like a sun is shining on your ambition, your will, your drive to do things? The last 2 weeks for me have been disturbing my peace. That was the best way that I could say it. It seems like the Scorpio energy is trying to shake things up. It's trying to dig things up and just bring it up to the surface. This energy is saying, like, here, fix this. This is what's been hiding. Like, it's showing you your tender, vulnerable wounds, because that's what Scorpio season is here to do. It's helping us out. Like, that's why this is happening for us. It's showing you your most tender, vulnerable spot. So here, just take care of this. Let's see what you guys are feeling. Jess, this makes sense. Been a lot of impatience and frustration in my house this week. Hello, Melinda. Christine, oh boy, you know what happened to me over the weekend. Yes, that's totally Mars conjunct the sun in Scorpio, 100%. Karen has had back pain for a month. There's that physical manifestation of Mars. Greg, the topic was my dreams for the future. It's coming. Okay, we haven't even talked about Neptune yet, bro. Melinda, don't know what I missed, but I've been having terrible sciatic pain for the last few days. Interesting. Karen, me too, for weeks now. I've never had it. It's been intense, Chris. Yes, more energy to do and accomplish, Trish. You know, I've noticed the same. I've had, like, the closest people in my life have been we've been triggering back and forth these last 2 weeks. And it's very interesting. But then I also, last week, I had no energy. The first week of daylight savings, I took a nap every single day. But then this week, I've had this like constant buzz all day, and I'm like raring to go. It's like a total opposite shift. Trish, more energy to do and accomplish. Yeah. Melinda says people are agitated. Energy at work isn't great. Feeling exhausted. It seems like it's hitting people in very different ways. Big yes for Maya. Sherry feels it. Melinda, when you're stressed, the sciatica comes out. Melissa, shadow around me, but it's been light for me. Things are coming to a truth, like you said, are finally being faced. Yeah, I have some advice. We're going to keep talking about this, but I just wanted to check in and see how y'all are doing. Karen, big exhaustion at the workplace. Courtney, everything coming to the surface for me. Scorpio, moon and rising. A lot of issues I've been dealing with, I feel like I can no longer ignore. Greg, nodding your head. I don't know how to say that word. I'm not even going to try. Trish, more solid energy to do and solidify plans for the future. Cool. John is definitely feeling it. Amber has no energy. Greg, my agitation, topic, and focus didn't mean to imply anything. Oh, yeah, I know. We'll get there, Greg. Karen, we're all feeling it. Definitely noticed it at work. Jasmine. Yeah, yesterday I actually wanted to share a story. So you guys know that I started Taekwondo again. And normally when you get there for the first 10 minutes before class starts, you just kind of hang out on the mat and you stretch. And it's a adult class, like teenage and adult class. And so normally the kids just sit and chat and like half stretch and the adults, whatever. But yesterday I was the only person sitting and stretching. The kids were literally running all over the gym, like stacking up pads and like jumping over them, and a kid was like crawling all over the stuff and he fell into me, and I was like, what is happening? There's just so much like energy. It was like toddlers. It was like teenagers were toddlers yesterday. So volatility is there, right? We are clearing stuff out. Jana, let's talk about that. So this energy, right? We're talking about Mars conjunct the sun. This energy today is forming a nice trine to Neptune. Trines are harmonious. They help each other out. So Neptune is the god of the seas. He rules our subconscious. He rules our dreams. He is in charge of the mysteries of life. And Neptune also rules sacrifice. Because Neptune, that's a typo all the time. I always type Neptune. Neptune is the ruler of Pisces. Okay, Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac. It's where we shed our ego in order to rebirth into Aries with more purity. But thinking about that sacrifice, that shedding of the ego, I think today, with this trine, Neptune is here to invite you to check part of your ego at the door. I think that's the answer to what's happening. The energy of like, I'm right, they're wrong. What if you're both right? And, if there's not a person that you've been at odds with, just think about your situation. What if their feelings are just as valid as yours? In fact, what if both of your feelings are extremely amplified right now? And it's just been pain, crying for help on both sides? What would your situation look like if you dropped or sacrificed your need to win, your need to be right? And what if you spent a moment healing what's been hurting you? I did that this morning. Yeah, it was good. It felt great. That's what I feel like that trine from Neptune is saying. Like, all right, if you want to dream your dream reality into the future, you got to drop a little bit of that ego. You got to let a little bit of that victim mode go. Because saying this with love, like, you're not the only person involved in all of this. We all have pain points. And all you could do is work on yourself, right? We can't change other people. We can't change how they treat us when it comes down to it. Thank you, Jana, for your donation. Much appreciated. Courtney said that's the message I needed to hear. You just wait. We're not done. So the Sun conjunct Mars in Scorpio is also forming a quincunx to the North Node in Aries today. So this whole concept of like surrendering part of your ego might feel counterintuitive, because when you have a quincunx, okay, it's not quite an opposition, it's 30 degrees less than an opposition. A quincunx happens when the 2 points are in different elements, they're different qualities, they have nothing in common. One is masculine, the other is feminine. They don't match on anything. It like does not compute. It's like the energy does not compute. But the quincunx is there to cause some tension, to shake you out of your routine. Like, look at this from a completely different angle. Jostle up the energy a little bit. And especially because the North Node is involved here. This feels like finally taking your head out of your ass and looking up at the North Star to see that the North Star you thought you've been following is actually slightly to the left. But you were so convinced that you've been walking the straight line, and then once your head's out of your ass, you realize that, oh no, my compass is broken. And you've been attached to following this path that was like slightly off track. It's like the North Node just wants you to veer a little bit. The North Node in Aries as well, forming that quincunx to the Sun conjunct Mars right now. This is telling us that we need to put ourselves first. We need to heal ourselves. So drop the story of how wrong the other person is, how wrong the situation is, and this is time to look inside yourself and right what's wrong within yourself for the sake of the relationship. We all know that saying, I'm assuming, right? You guys know that saying, hurt people hurt people? Healed people heal people. Healing people heal people. Because as you heal, you become a guiding light. You literally just start to shine. You start to become a lighthouse, and you guide people without even acting on it. You don't even have to teach, like, verbally. You don't even have to sit people down and say, this is how you do shadow work. Literally, by healing yourself, you begin to glow. You turn into a new person. You start to exude happiness. And then some people around, right? Some people around you are going to say, how did you do that? How did you become a happier person? I want that. Those people are ready. Those are the people who are asking for your teaching. There's going to be other people that see you shining and they're going to say, F them. How come they have it so good? Because that person might be stuck in their victim mode. And that's what the path is that they're choosing right now. So that's what's going on. This whole thing just feels so right to what I've got going on in my life. I hope it's going on with what you've got going on in your life. Let's see what you guys are talking about. Christine says, Melinda had a beautiful healing prayer in her yoga class this morning. It truly helped me. I also love this message. That's awesome, Christine. Gary, does anyone remember which philosopher said that you're only right half the time? I don't. I wonder if anyone else did. Alexis says, this week has felt like Mercury is already retrograde. It's been so off. Yeah, I feel that too. Mercury retrograde is starting in just about a month, so enjoy this time. Let's see what else you guys are talking about. And good morning, Alexis. Jana says, in the last 4 weeks, I have had 2 best friends pass over, checked out, and 2 family members. That sounds like a very deep Scorpio season, Jana. It's not an easy time. Charlotte just checking in. Yes, the video for me is completely frozen at this point. But we're going with it. We're taking what we can today. Jackie, I missed which planet is quincunx. So the Sun and Mars are together in Scorpio. That's forming a quincunx to the North Node in Aries. And thank you guys for letting Charlotte know what's going on. Hello, Anik. I came in at just the perfect time. Healed people heal people. Good morning. Charlotte, we'll figure something out for the cards. Greg, that's a lot. I agree. Jess, this is definitely the message I needed to hear today too. My husband has been so snappy and judgy this week, and I have definitely been taking it personally. Oh my gosh, if that doesn't describe every close relationship in my life right now. And then I have to wonder, like, have I also been snappy? Have I also been, like, I've been getting hurt by the actions of other people. So, like, am I then hurting them with my actions, with my reactions? I love checking myself. I love it. I love it. Melinda did the Ho'oponopono prayer this morning. I do love that. Lori says, this so resonates. Will be helpful in my relationship. We are working on things. Isn't that the point? Isn't that constantly what we're always doing? Jonna, it's been rough, but I'm doing my best to stay centered. Sending you love, lady. I know it's rough. Everything is for a reason. Oh, I was crying this morning about, like, just things that have seemed so much right now, and it has to happen. You have to get through it. This is so helpful. That's awesome to hear, Jonna. I'm glad that me just being me is helping you. Let me serve as an example for all you guys. You just need to be you, and it helps. Greg, I've been feeling the pull, call, and momentum toward the future while keenly aware of current conditions not changing, even though they are. Oh, yeah, in Scorpio season, we are in fixed water, which can feel like fixed is stable. Nothing changes. Hi, Muhammad. Fixed is constant, right? So it could feel like we're just stuck where we are, especially water, in our emotions. So I promise it has been changing. Actually, maybe not. I came up, so I get emails from my journal, because I have like an online journal. It's private, but I have an online journal, and it'll send me, look at what you wrote 3 years ago today. And my entry from 3 years ago today was, 1, I came home from my therapist and I'm like, oh, she taught me what shadow work is. I'm going to dive into whatever this shadow work thing is. 2, I was having literally the same argument with my husband that I had with him last night. A verbatim argument from 3 years ago. It even involved the same type. It was about soup 3 years ago, and it was about stew yesterday. It was just so funny. So yeah, maybe we are just like spiraling down into something that's been lingering for freaking ever. Jackie says, I bit my tongue this morning knowing about the astrology rather than telling my husband what I was really thinking. I did the same thing. He's like, I could tell that you're upset. And I'm like, I am, but it doesn't need to be said right now. I'm just having emotions. It doesn't need to be about you. Oh, that's so funny. Courtney says, geez, the 2 people who I've been struggling with just both messaged me loving messages. The universe is always, oh my gosh, I love that, Courtney. That's so cool. Oh, good, Jonna, to hear it's not just me going through this. Yeah, that's why I love doing these talks, because it's like the astrology doesn't equal what's going to happen in our lives, but it gives the flavor. It gives the energy. This is what can potentially happen, and then we all kind of take it however we want to take it. Okay, I gotta get to the cards. I'm getting really excited talking about you guys. Yeah, no soup for you. Except I really wanted to give the soup, but he didn't want the soup. Nicole's having the same health issues that you journaled about 10 years ago. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Okay, here's a quick option. I am streaming this live on my TikTok, so if you guys follow me on TikTok, I should have said this 25 minutes ago, but you can hop on TikTok and watch the live there, and you can actually see my video. No, I know, Jackie. I know that's from Seinfeld. No soup for you. I just didn't say it. But with the cards today, we're just gonna use our legit intuition. You can't see it, so here's the universe depriving you of a sense. Oh my gosh, this is like the moon card in tarot. This is literally like, it's scary because it's dark, right? Close your eyes. Close your eyes if you can't see the cards today and pretend that you can see. The first deck we're going to use is the Star Codes Astro Oracle. And we're going to ask, how are the Sun and Mars serving us with their conjunction? So what I would like you guys to do is send your energy into my hands, because I'm already shuffling. If you want to go into your closed-eyed meditative state, you can envision me shuffling the cards, and you can send your intentions through my hands into the cards. And I'm going to let 3 cards fall out of the deck that are guiding us to know how the Sun and Mars are serving us with their conjunction. Right now, if you know a number in your mind between 1 and 3, just keep it there. And then I'll let you know when the 3 cards come out, and I'll talk you through it today. This is fun. Here's a little bit of a roadblock, right? So this what's happening right now could be a good example of a square in astrology. There's tension. We're missing out on something that we normally have. We don't have the video. How heavily does this rely on the video most of the time? So limitations create style. We're limited with our equipment, so we're doing this a different way. And who knows, maybe you'll pick something up from today that you'll take forward with the rest of my readings. The whole reading is for all of us, Greg, but we'll still see if any of the cards speak more strongly to you than others. I'm also going to close my eyes because I'm waiting on one more card. And maybe if you guys have no vision, maybe I should have no vision too. If you want to ask for one more card, how are the Sun and Mars conjunct serving us? Thank you. Okay. I'll still hold them up in case you guys are able to see them, but just tune in. I'm going to show you now the back of card number 1. The back of card number 2. And the back of card number 3. Were they, Christine? I'm not even looking at the Insight Timer video because it's throwing me so off. Greg, exactly. That's what I was trying to get out when I mentioned the moon card in tarot. We're having to let go of what's seen in order to feel what's not seen. That's such a Pisces statement, Greg. Let us know in the chat which card or cards were resonating with you. If you don't feel anything today, it's totally fine. If you don't feel anything ever, it's totally fine. But I'm going to hold them up one more time if you need to tune back in. So here's the back of card number 1. The back of card number 2. And the back of card number 3. Okay, let's see what you guys are working with today. Patty, 2. Melinda, 3. Anik, 3. Wynn, 3. Christine, 3. Lori, 3. Greg, 3. Jasmine, 1 and 3. Jonna, 1 and 3. Jean, 3. Got a phone notification. Karen, 3. Jackie the cat raced by on 1. Trish, 1. Jess, 3. Nicole, 1 and 3. John, 1. Sherry, 1 and 3. Patty, at first I said 3, but something inside of me said no, it's number 2. Julie, 3. Christine must be all 3. Chantel, 1. Breath. 2. Jingle. And 3. Eyes. Aaron, 3. Kay, 2. And when you said it the last time, I felt pressure in my head that I felt like I was trying to squeeze through, and an escape from crown chakra. Interesting. Would someone please type in the chat what's going on with the video today? I'm going to get to the cards, but it seems like some people came in after I've explained it. Yeah. Christine's working with 2. All right, guys. I know the video's frozen today. I've done everything that I can, so we're going with it being more intuitive than normal. So we asked, how are the Sun and Mars serving us with their conjunction? Okay. Card number 1 brings us the energy of Sagittarius. It's card number 9 in the deck. And the message, the main message, is expand. Sagittarius asks us to think big, travel far, and use our restless and curiosity to create. A mutable fire sign, Sagittarius' symbol is that of the centaur, half human, half horse, which epitomizes the connection between humans and the natural world, the wild world. Sagittarius, ruled by expansive Jupiter, rules the thighs, the muscles that propel our movement. Sagittarius has 2 imperatives: expand your perspective and humbly speak your truth. So let your perspective become versatile, flexible, and curious. Travel in the body or in the mind and explore a larger philosophical, environmental, or metaphysical context for this situation. Imagine you are on a mountaintop. Look down at your life from 1,000 feet up. Now take it further, like the astronauts who look down on our spinning green and blue globe and see no borders between countries. You are a global citizen. Change your life to reflect this reality. Speak your truth. Remember the fairy tale, The Emperor's New Clothes? I just talked about this last week. A pair of con artists arrive at an emperor's court claiming to make beautiful garments. They say their creations are only visible to people of quality. Incompetent people can't see the clothes. No one in the emperor's court wants to admit that they can't see the supposedly intricate garments, and the emperor wears his new clothes on parade. Only one honest Sagittarian-style boy speaks up, states the obvious, the emperor is naked, and breaks the spell. Ask what spell you need to break and speak up. The challenge of this card, just because you see it doesn't mean you have to say it. Oh my gosh, that's so Sag energy. Timing and pacing are everything. Be honest, not mean. Ask if what you are about to say is wise, kind, and necessary, as well as true. Watch out for the geographic curse, the belief that travel will solve problems, because wherever you go, there you are. And the gift of this card, honor all your relationships. Sagittarius reminds us that our spiritual path is connected to all our relations. The 2-footed, 4-footed, and many-legged, winged, scaled, and finned. They are all connected to us. Cool. So how is the Sun and Mars conjunction in Scorpio serving us? It's helping us to expand the way that we see the situation. It is interesting. So Sagittarius is the sign that comes after Scorpio. And just to have the flow of the zodiac in you. So Scorpio digs super deep to find what's down there, what the truth really is. And then Sagittarius can see it from such a higher perspective because like as above, so below, right? So the lower you go during Scorpio, the wider of a perspective you're going to have to expand when you get to Sagittarius. So how are the Sun and Mars serving us? I'm also sitting with, okay, Sun and Mars in Scorpio is a water sign, but the Sun is made of what? And Mars is a fiery planet, like fire, Sagittarius, right? So this makes total sense to me. I feel like we're meant to be super pissed off. We're meant to be super aggressive and ambitious about what it is that we're going through right now so that we're able to see a bigger, expanded perspective of the situation. See the truth, right? Scorpio investigates to get the truth, and then Sagittarius has found it, and it's like a giant awakening when you get there. Like, oh my God. Let's see what else is coming up from you guys. Karen is a Sag. Sagittarius season starts on the 22nd. What is that, like Wednesday or something? I don't know. Karen, you're relating. Didn't pick this card. That's crazy. This came up, Melinda. Yeah. We just had Mercury enter Sagittarius as well. Wow, step back from the immediate situation and take the macro view instead of the micro, Greg. I love that. Yes, yeah, maybe just a shift of perspective will help you see the bigger thing. Our bluntness gets us in trouble sometimes, Karen. You are a Sag. Yes, foot in mouth disease sometimes. But the honest truth is so refreshing. Greg, this is so comforting for some reason. Love it. Chantel, you were talking about that card the other day. I've been seeing 9 for days too. For me, it's a breath to from a different perspective than speak your truth. Oh, it's a breath to see from a different perspective, then speak your truth. I like that. Yeah, instead of being so micro-detailed, look at the bigger picture, then speak your truth. I love that. Wherever you go, there you are. It's a book. Thanks, Christine. I have a Jupiter-Uranus conjunction in the first, South Node and Neptune conjunction in the second. Big energy, Rebecca. Trish, yes, thank you for the number 1 card. Speak the truth from a vast perspective. Jackie says honest truth is refreshing. Delivery can impact how the truth is heard or taken. That's where the difficulty lies. So true, Jackie. So true. Yeah. I talk about him all the time. You guys know my husband is a Sag. He has like 6 placements in Sag. He's a true, so much Sag energy. And I had to give him props this morning because he voiced some emotions, but he did it from like a very level perspective. He's like, I'm not trying to be mean, but this is bothering me. And it was like, it was really nice. I was able to hear it better because he wasn't just like truth, emotion, you know? Yes, Christine, sometimes you always have to stand in your power and speak your truth. All right, how else are the Sun and Mars serving us with their conjunction? Card number 2 brings us I dropped it. Card number 2 brings us card number 28, Chiron. And of course, the main message is heal. Chiron is often referred to as the wounded healer archetype, named after a mythological wise centaur, like Sagittarius, who trained heroes and was accidentally wounded by Hercules with a poisoned arrow. Though he could not completely heal his own pain, he learned so much about medicine that he started a healing temple. This asteroid points to where your own painful experiences give you training and how you can use that understanding to help others. The asteroid Chiron has a 50-year orbit between the traditional visible planets and the more metaphysical transformative realm symbolized by the outer planets. Find purpose in your problems. Hard-earned wisdom is now relevant and needed. You don't have to assign casualty. You may never know you went through a difficult time, but you can put what you learned from it to good use. Even if you never quite heal in this place of karmic tenderness, you have the wisdom to pass on once you metabolize the information. The situation may feel familiar, but if you can't remember a story to go with it, it may be left over from a past life. A chapter of review of what your soul already knows. I lost my place. Okay. If an old pain is triggered, have compassion for yourself. You are more than your troubles. Fuck. You know the route through, and now it's time to practice what you know. Once you have a solution, add it to your toolkit. If this situation stretches and tests you, take it as training for the hero within. What you are learning now can be your secret sauce in the future. The challenge of Chiron, the situation can set off touchy memories or poke you where it still hurts. What is that? Oh, shrapnel can hurt as much. What? Shrapnel can hurt as much coming out as it does going in. Take this opportunity to heal so those old places can transform. And the gift of Chiron, allow the pain and troubles of the past to become the wisdom and compassion of the present moment. Allow the pain and troubles of the past to become the wisdom and compassion of the present moment. A million things in here trying to compute. It tracks so strongly. You've survived 100% of your most difficult days, so why would you not survive this? I love that last part, because especially what Greg was saying earlier, how like you feel like you're just spinning your wheels and you keep thinking about the future. Like I feel similar themes. I'm like that all the time. You know, I'm always like reaching for what's next, how is this going to get better, how am I going to be better? But especially, okay, so Sagittarius is a mutable sign. Mutable signs are really good at like reflecting on what's already happened and using that to like impact the future or impact the present. So that's what the end of this Chiron card was saying. Reflect on how many times you've healed in the past. How many times you've gotten over stuff in the past. You have the strength. You've been earning it. And now this situation can feel so difficult because it's time to earn a little bit more wisdom, a little bit more courage, a little bit more strength. Yeah, it's healing. It's what we were talking about earlier. It's time to drop the ego. Stop saying that they're wrong and I'm right. Okay, everyone's right. Everyone's entitled to feel the way they feel. And you know, probably 85% of the time when people hurt you, they're not trying to hurt you. They're not doing it to like, I'm gonna get back at them. Like, I feel like that happens so little. And we just assume that people are out to get us. Like, no, everyone's just hurt. Everyone's just hurt. Let's see, where are you? Charlotte says, I'm a Sag, and yes, I have to constantly work on think before I speak. I tend to be too blunt. Yeah, same. I'm not a Sag, but my Mercury is in Aries. I do have a fire communication, and I get called out all the time for being too snippy, I guess, is how it comes out. Jackie, comment about Paul made me look at Ron's chart. Sag with a stellium of 4 in Sag. More to talk about. Jackie, that's why we get along so well. Greg's mind is blown. Cynthia loves it. Christine, this is speaking to me. Love it. The last part is great. Sherry, I agree. I flipped right open to the next card. I think that's crazy. Loaded and beautiful. Anik, I don't know if it's going to show, but this is the Star Codes Astro Oracle. Karen says, true for me. Will that sentence be in your group? Good question, Christine. Yeah, I always send the whole book snippet to Bonnie, and Bonnie puts it in our spiritual community. So if you guys are not a part of our spiritual community, It's the group that I have here on Insight Timer. And yeah, all the updates, like the Oracle recaps, go in there. So if you ever want to check back in on what we talked about. Greg, I'd rather be happy than right. Me too, bro. I don't know why I keep calling you bro today. Yeah, me too, and I wish the whole world would be like that, but it's not, and it's okay. So it's up to me to find happy. Christine, I'm snippy too. It was actually really funny. So Sagittarius husband, there was a day, he doesn't do anything like tech, right? Like it's completely foreign to him. And I don't know how he did it, but one day he was able to take a picture of me and he put a chihuahua head on my head, and it was the funniest thing in the world. And that's Sagittarius energy. Cool. So the third way, how are the Sun and Mars serving us with their conjunction? What is all this volatility doing for us? Because nothing ever happens to you. It's all happening for you. It's Gemini. Card number 3 is card number 3 in the deck, and it's Gemini. And all I'm going to say right now is that these are opposites. Sagittarius and Gemini are opposite of each other. That's it. And they're on bookends of the reading today. Cross-pollinate is the message of Gemini. Courtney, I feel like this is a whole journey for me today. I'm glad you're going for the ride, because I feel like this is just my journey today too. Glad that we're doing it together. Love it. Another 3, Jackie. Yep. With its symbol of a pair of twins conversing, Gemini asks us to weave a web of connections and build networks with humor and all forms of communication. This mutable air sign is ruled by Mercury and is connected to the lungs, shoulders, hands, and nerves. Sciatica. A lot of people talk about sciatica today. Gemini's purpose is to disperse ideas like milk thistle on the spring winds, cross-pollinate ideas like bees buzzing over the flowers. Words are at the heart of this issue you are facing. Oh my gosh. And not just any words, but real dialogue. If you feel tension in the situation, see what is blocking the lines of communication and open that aperture. Listen to the grapevine and cross-pollinate. Gather and share information. Bits of truth may float in on gossip. Bits of truth may float in on gossip. Explore social media, sound bites, and any other way to get the word out. Talk to people as if they are your siblings, true equals. If something is bothering you, find a place to unpack it, get it on the table, and take a good look. Then talk it over in depth with a friend or therapist, or write in your journal. Trust the process of self-expression to help get to the root of the problem. However, assume anything you say will be repeated. Gemini scatters seeds, It is not concerned with privacy or individuality and is not necessarily loyal. The challenge of Gemini: this situation may be more complex than you think, so be willing to dig in. Gemini energy can be shallow or oversimplified, as it encourages breadth rather than depth. So you have to add the depth consciously. The gift of Gemini is, Gemini's gift is an open mind and a sense of universal siblinghood. We are all in this together. The soul knows how to find itself back in equilibrium if we just let all of our parts communicate. Help the unexpressed feelings, persons, and elements within the community be heard. If I talk to people as if they're my siblings, it might not go well. Christine, you're so funny. You gotta talk about it. Whatever's happening, you gotta get it out with words, whether that's to a trusted friend, or to a therapist, or to your favorite spiritual problem solver. I'm raising my hand. Or in a journal with yourself, with your highest self. Whatever Sometimes a lot of magic comes from just talking about the situation. When you're discussing it, another person might ask you a question that you wouldn't have thought of to ask yourself. And with journaling too, because you have to slow your mind down to keep up with how slow your hand moves. That's usually when my higher self will come through and ask me to look at something a different way. So yeah, time to cross-pollinate, time to get maybe even like outsider people's input on what's going on that might help you feel a little bit more sane about the situation that you feel like you've been in for so long. Scorpio in. I just can't get over how we have Sag and Gemini with Chiron in the middle. It's time to heal the axis of teaching and learning, right? Gemini is learning, Sagittarius is teaching. It's all about communication. And both of these cards brought up the unity, knowing that we're all connected. My pain is your pain is my pain, but my healing is your healing. And your healing is my healing. Oh, Jess, that's great. Voice note journaling can be a great way to work through stuff, too. Yes. Melinda says that's crazy. Hi, Bonnie. Stephanie, good morning. Greg is in shock. Chantel, Gemini is my mom's star sign. Think this is saying to connect with my siblings around my mom and don't gossip, but just openly express my feelings. I like that, Chantel. I love how you all use your intuition to take this exactly how it's meant to be taken for you. I think that's so cool. Definitely a lot of healing from this reading. Look at it from the bigger perspective. Then see what the theme is that needs to be healed, then talk about it. I think that's the order that this reading wants you to do it in. Heal the access of teaching and learning, bridge through conversation and relationship honoring. I like that. Just by sharing your story with trusted people, you are teaching and learning. I was just talking about this with a client yesterday. The other day, just by hearing someone else's life, I get to learn about life. That's why I love listening to people talk about themselves. I just love holding space for people because they are them and I am me, and I would handle situations in one way and they handle situations in a different way. So just by being there and receiving the information of someone else's life without like trying to fix it, without trying to like respond, just sitting and listening to other people, I learn so much. All right, we're gonna pull one more card from one more deck. Now we're going to use the Gateway of Light Activation Oracle card. And this is going to give us advice to our ego from Neptune and the North Node. So just a quick recap, if you joined late, Sun and Mars are together in the sky in Scorpio. Very volatile energy, very high energy. Could be used for good, could be used for aggression. This is trining Neptune. So Neptune is helping us saying, check part of your ego at the door, let go of blame, maybe look inside yourself and see what needs to be healed inside yourself. And the North Node is quincunx. Even like hear that word, just quincunx. Does that sound like smooth and easy, or does that sound like clunky and chunky? Quincunx. North Node is quincunx. It feels counterintuitive to do what you're quote unquote supposed to do right now. So we're going to ask Neptune and the North Node for advice to our ego, specifically our ego, our personality, the mask that we put on to interact with the world, our interface, our software. Our ego is kind of like our software. Yeah, wow, that's pretty cool. So send your energy into this deck. I know that the video is super laggy today, so just imagine your energy is moving through my hands. The energy of your highest self, please. And then if you guys have been enjoying today's session, I really appreciate you guys sticking around on Insight Timer with the super lag. I can imagine it's very distracting. I haven't even looked at myself because of how distracting it is. But if you've been enjoying this and you'd like to offer an energy exchange, you can always do so in the form of a donation. Or if you haven't yet followed me on Insight Timer, you can do that. Hello, Nicole. Nice to see you. Just listen to my voice today. The video's really bad. If you want to see all the other things that I'm up to and just hear from me and all that kind of stuff, go into my Insight Timer profile. That's where my link tree is. So all my socials are there. My YouTube is there. I always record these sessions and I put them on my YouTube channel. So if you want to watch the replay without the lagginess, the YouTube replay is not laggy. So that'll be there. Or you could just search my name on the internet. I come up because I have a unique name. Yeah. And if you want to work with me one-on-one, I do offer a lot of sessions. They're all donation-based as well. So my website is in my link tree, in my Insight Timer bio. But just letting you know, I am booked out for at least a month. But I would still love to hear from you guys. Okay. Hello, Nicole. Hello, Suzanne. Charlotte, thank you so much for your donation. All right, so this is advice to our ego from Neptune and the North Node. And the card is Sacred Inner Space. And the message is sacral chakra, tenderness, sensuality. The sacral chakra is found below the belly button and is the energetic space that governs our reproductive system and all forms of expression connected to it. Everything from our sexuality to our capacity to express the tender, more sacred parts of ourselves is connected to this chakra. It is governed by water, and so it helps us move with the flow of life in order to express our most authentic self. This card transports us to the sacred inner space. It shows us an inner temple with flowing water and lots of soft colors coming from a blooming lotus. This encourages us to see that our sacred parts are beautiful energetic gateways through which we can express and manifest pure life force. You are being guided to the gateway of your sacred self. This is an opportunity to recognize that the more tender and vulnerable aspects of your being hold keys to great power. Honor the sacred within. Reclaim any parts of yourself that you have disconnected from or abandoned. If you want to experience more love and belonging, look within. There is a huge lesson in finding love within yourself. Realize that false narratives have been floating around your energetic field, stories that have discouraged you from expressing yourself. You may have even been lied to and told that you aren't beautiful. This card is here to remind you that you are beautiful, and more importantly, you can create beauty in the world. Recognize that you hold the power of the universe within, and then you'll find your flow. A whole bunch in this card. This is huge. The whole sacral chakra with the reproductive organs and sensuality is Scorpio, 100%. This is a card of healing, going within and finding the most tender parts of yourself that your ego probably doesn't want to look at, because your ego is the part of you that's trying to keep you safe. And if those tender parts are tender and they hurt, your ego would not want to go in and look at it. So this tells me to let go of your bruised ego. Let go of the unhealed parts of yourself that are letting you know that you're not good enough, you're not beautiful, it's not worth it, you're just going to get hurt again. Yeah, do your best to get underneath those beliefs and go into your sacred inner space. And by sitting with the most tender hurt parts of yourself, by being with them, being underneath them. I don't know how else to say it, but I hope you're picking up what I'm putting down. That's where you find the paint, the tools to create beauty in this world. If you stay above the pain, it's like you're too good for the magic, is how it feels. When you stay above the pain, when you try to shove the pain down so that you're above it, it's just like surface level. But then when you sit down with it and you feel it and you process through it, that's where you get the fuel, the paint, the materials to create beautiful things in your life. Like, where does good art come from? Where does true good music come from? Is pain and feelings and emotion and true raw authenticity. And you have to go into your sacred inner space to find that. And Melinda also let us know that the sacral chakra is connected to sciatica. So many of you guys have been sitting with sciatica. Interesting, Charlotte. She says the donation box has changed back to old options. They don't have a custom amount option anymore. I wonder if there might be, if you go straight through my profile. I'm not sure. But thanks for bringing that up. Jess loves this. Anik, oh boy, this is my card. Patty, we're about to go to our sacred inner space in 45 minutes. Anna needed to hear that, a beautiful card. Bonnie, thank you for putting the updates in Jacqui's group. So much good stuff today. Yes, thank you, thank you. Suzanne, sitting with the pain gives us the tools. Beautifully said, Jacqui. Thank you so much for your donation, Jess. I appreciate it. Sophia, oof. Jacqui, your downloads are on fire today. Thanks. I'm in it. I'm in it. You know how I get all those is I sit with my sacred inner space from time to time. Suzanne, oh my God, was up all night dealing with sciatica. Yeah, a lot of people are this time. I wonder why. All beautiful today. I agree, Karen. I agree. It seems like this is going to be a weekend for healing. And then I'll see you guys back on Wednesday. Next week I'm here Wednesday, Friday. The sun enters Sagittarius on Wednesday. And then Mars enters Sagittarius on Friday. It'll be more Sag energy. Expansive, exploratory. But we still have a few days left in Scorpio season, so the energy still wants us to dig into the emotion and learn from it. Investigate it, get to the bottom, because the deeper you're able to go now, the more expansive you'll be able to get when we are in Sagittarius season. Don't rush it. Sending love to all. Thank you so much for being here today. Thanks for all the exchanges in every way. Namaste. Greg, well done, Jacqui. Well done, sis. Thanks, bro. Christine, have a beautiful weekend. Thank you, thank you. Thanks, Melinda. Thank you, Trish and Lori. Namaste, Sophia. I'll see you guys next week.